What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality podcast, as well as another week of Powerhouse training. Last week, we took a little bit of a bye week, we'll call it, because I just had a lot of shit that I had to get done, and frankly, I needed a bye week. So here we are. It is my show. I can do what I want. I love that. But today, guys, it's a really, really special week, and I have no idea how we got here so quickly. I feel like October flew by and then I blinked and November was over because it is the holiday season beginning. So we have Thanksgiving coming up here on Thursday for those of you in America. I know I have a lot of Canadian listeners who are like, we already had our Thanksgiving. Thank you, Caitlin, but I'm already done with that. But, this is going to be applicable to anybody who listens. Now, the title of the episode and the title of this training is the Powerhouse Holiday Survival Guide, How to Stay Committed and Enjoy the Season. Because a common thing that I hear, and I want to just say a myth that I hear as a coach over the last 10 plus years that I've been in the industry, is that you can't stay committed to your goals and enjoy the holidays. You have to pick one or the other. When in all reality, that's just not correct. You can and you should stay committed to your goals and still enjoy the holiday season. But where does all of this come from, right? Because we've heard that, hey, a lot of people gain weight during the holiday season, and it's not because you overindulged on Thanksgiving or because you ate like an asshole on Christmas. You can eat like an asshole on Christmas and Christmas Eve and Thanksgiving and still be consistent all of the other days of the holiday season, and you'll be okay. You'll probably see phenomenal results, if not maintain where you're at right now. The problem that people have is that they turn Thanksgiving to Christmas into a complete binge fest, and they just eat for the sake of eating because it's the holidays, right? There's nothing wrong with enjoying the holidays and enjoying the food that you don't get all year round, because it would be naive to say that food isn't culture, it isn't celebration, because it's all of those things. Food is culture, food is celebration, food is family. It's something that brings us all together. And for those of you out there who hear people on Instagram saying food is fuel and that is all that it is, that's not correct, because you're a human, not a robot. But it all comes down to staying committed to the promises that you've made to yourself, seeking discomfort, and doing the things that are going to take you closer to the person that you want to be, and focusing and making time for the things that matter most to you. Not to the other person in the room, but to you. Not to the person you see on social media, to you. And that's going to be different for everybody who listens to this. Now, let's talk some statistics, because I fucking love statistics. Now, a survey by the American Heart Association taken in December of 2023 concluded that the majority of participants neglect their health over the holidays, and the holidays being Thanksgiving through New Year's. Now, I know that this probably doesn't come as a surprise to most people, and although surveys aren't the most accurate form of research studies, it's still a good way for us to get an understanding of what the majority of people who participate in these things think or how they feel. 79% of the people surveyed neglected their health, and they neglected it in multiple different ways. 69% of that 79 struggled with food or struggled with eating well during the holidays. 64% did not exercise regularly. 56% didn't get enough sleep. And 51% say that it takes them weeks to feel less stressed after the holidays. Just about half of the people surveyed said that it takes them weeks to recover from the stress that they had during the holidays. And where does this stress come from? So the stress during the holidays, I'm sure you can kind of list it out in your head based on, what you probably experience, but lack of time, financial pressures, gift giving, family gatherings. I know that one is a big one for a lot of people. Is like maybe you're seeing people that you don't necessarily want to see all the time, or people who stress you out. But the one thing that I want you to remember there is that you can't allow anyone or anything to change your experience or cause you to have a negative experience in your life. Don't allow anyone or anything to have that power. The power is yours. Enjoy your holidays. Be present during your holidays. Don't have regrets, because 71% say that their biggest regret is that they didn't take the time to relax and enjoy the holidays. And that, to me, is a problem. Because again, the holidays come along once a year. Life is really short. You never know when life is going to end. For anybody. For people who you spend the holidays with, you don't know. You don't know if this is going to be your last Christmas. You have fucking no idea. And I know that it's morbid to think that. But I also think that it's very important to understand that we are not immortal. And that we need to take advantage of the time that we have and make the most of the experience that we have. And if we spend too much of our time worrying and having regret and being stressed, then we're not making the most of the time that we have on this earth. And that's a shame. So all of these things aren't good, right? Life is too short, and most people neglect their health for the sake of a few days. Remember what I said earlier? Where, hey, you can eat like an asshole on Thanksgiving, on Christmas Eve, on New Year's, and those 4 days aren't going to make a big impact over the 30 days of the holidays? That's a very small percentage. But most people, what they do is they make a decision on the Friday after Thanksgiving that they say, hey, I'll focus on my goals in the new year. And they let themselves do all of the things during the holidays that they probably wouldn't do. And they go backwards, or they feel like shit throughout the entire holidays. Or they're so stressed out about food, and they're so stressed out about time and finances and all these things that they can't even enjoy it. So when things get stressful for people, especially during the holidays, because the holidays, like I said, can be a very stressful thing, the first thing that gets pushed to the back burner are the hard things. Exercise, nutrition, sleep, taking care of yourself is not an easy thing. It should be, but it's not. And that's the reality. Pushing yourself in a workout isn't comfortable, right? Sticking to your nutrition when maybe you want a cookie isn't very comfortable. So when people have stress and they need to put something on the back burner, they put fitness, nutrition, taking care of themselves. They put that on the back burner. They put their health on the back burner because they just don't have time for that shit right now. When in all reality, you don't find time for anything. You make time. You make time. You don't find it because you're not going to just find time lying around. Time is our most precious asset, but the one that people waste the most. If something is important to you, you will make it happen. You will make time for it. You will. You'll wake up earlier. You'll go to bed later. You'll manipulate your schedule a little bit, maybe scroll on Instagram a little bit less. It's not about being perfect, though. It's about being consistent. So, what are some steps that you can use to stay committed to your health and your mindset during the holiday season, but still enjoy the holidays? And I think number one, you have to fuck that stress. Like, manage your stress. You can't allow anyone or anything to take the power away from you and ruin your experience. And I know, like, manage your stress, everybody says that, right? But how the hell do you actually manage your stress? And of course, it's going to be different for everybody. Because what manages my stress might not manage your stress. But it's about finding things that bring joy into your life. So do something every single day that brings joy to your life. No matter how small you might think that thing is. That could be as simple as, hey, every morning I start off my day, I wake up 10 minutes earlier than I normally would, and I have a cup of coffee while I watch the sunrise. Or I have a cup of coffee while I just sit by the fireplace. Or sit by the Christmas tree. Whatever. It could be as simple as like, hey, I wake up a little bit earlier and I do 10 minutes of journaling. I check in with myself. And that's another thing. Check in with yourself. Breathe, journal, refocus, be present. Because the holidays go by really fast. Don't miss memories because you were focused on things that had happened in the past or things that might happen in the future. Practice gratitude because it's impossible to be negative when you have a mindset of gratitude. You can't do both at once. The way that I like to do this is like every night when I go to bed, when I'm like trying to go to sleep and laying my head on that pillow, I think about what was the best part of my day? What am I most grateful for from the day? And over time, you start to look for those things because you know that you're going to ask that question at the end of the day. It's a little hack to play with your mindset, to focus on gratitude. But number one, out of all of these things when it comes to managing stress, just fucking relax. Like seriously, just relax. Going into the holidays with stress, with overthinking everything, usually makes things worse. For example, if you have a lot of stress when it comes to food and like, I can't eat this, I can eat this, and all those things, you're probably more likely to binge than if you were to just say, hey, I'm just going to enjoy the time that I have with the people that I love, and I'm going to enjoy the food that I eat. Versus, oh my gosh, I can't have that, which makes you want it more, and then you eat all of it. Instead of just having a few cookies, you have the whole tray, because in your mind, this is bad and you're never going to be able to have it again, so I have to eat it all now. That's where most people fail, is they go through this restrict and binge cycle. Now, Thanksgiving is Thursday, okay? So what can you do on Thanksgiving to stay committed but still enjoy the day? Number one, don't fucking track your macros on Thanksgiving. Don't track your macros. I don't care who you are. Don't track your macros. Don't open your phone to track your macros. That is so silly to me. And I've had clients in the past who are like, I'm going to track my macros on Thanksgiving, almost as a badge of honor. And I get it, I've been there. But at the end of the day, if you're tracking macros on a holiday and trying to be perfect on a holiday, I think we have another problem. One day will not destroy you unless you allow it to. And if you don't have the discipline to get right back on track the next day after having a holiday to indulge, then I think we have another problem. You do not have discipline when it comes to food, and you need to fix your relationship with food. Most of us have a skewed relationship with food, but that's another conversation. So the biggest thing that I want you guys to remember when it comes to Thanksgiving is that it is one day, and no matter what happens on that one day, it doesn't matter. You have one day where you indulge, cool. Now Friday, we feel a little bit shitty, we're feeling a little bit sluggish, but you know what? I wake up, hit my workout, get my water in, get my high protein breakfast in, we're back to tracking macros, we're back to our shit. That's what matters. That's what matters. Not what you did on Thanksgiving, but what you did the whole other 364 days of the year. So here are some tips, though, that you can use, some strategies that you can use that can make the holiday a little bit more manageable. Not tracking macros, but staying committed while also enjoying the holiday. So number one would be prioritize how you eat the food that you're eating, what order you eat it in. So if you're filling up your plate, eat your protein and eat your veggies first, and then you are less likely to overindulge on all of the other things. So protein, veggies first, and then stop eating when you're full. Don't just eat for the sake of eating, and don't eat until you're sick, because that's miserable. But even if you do, like I said, it's one day, right? But protein and veg first, and stop when you're full, and don't just eat for the sake of eating. I know that all of us probably have that one side dish or that one dessert that we're really, really looking forward to. And if you're watching this on the live, or if you're watching this on the replay in the group, I want you to comment down below what is your favorite dish that you're looking forward to the most for Thanksgiving. But, whatever dish that is for you, have it, enjoy it. Be mindful when you're eating it. And that's another tip I'll talk about later. But don't tell yourself that you can't have something. Don't restrict, but just say, hey, I'm going to eat my protein and my veggies first, and then I'm going to stop when I'm full. And because protein and vegetables are super satiating, you're less likely to overindulge. And even if you do overindulge, at least you hit your protein goal, right? So number two is stay hydrated. This keeps your mouth busy, right? And if you're drinking alcohol as well, it's going to keep you hydrated so that way you don't feel quite as shitty the next day. And if you're eating a lot of food, it's really good to just stay hydrated, especially since there's probably a lot more sodium than you're used to in the food. So there's nothing wrong with staying hydrated. It's only going to help you. Number three is bring a healthy dish. And I say healthy with quotation marks around it because who the fuck defines what healthy is? If I asked a vegan what's healthy, they're going to say meat is unhealthy. However, if I asked a carnivore what's unhealthy. They're going to say vegetables are unhealthy. So healthy is just a word that people fly around, right? So bring a dish that's maybe more macro friendly, right? Maybe more like just a plain vegetable instead of like a vegetable wrapped in bacon and smothered in butter. So that way you can show people, number one, that healthy can be delicious, but also you have something that you can kind of lean on and you can kind of control a little bit. And also, number 4, and this one I think is the biggest tip, is be mindful about the food that you eat and eat the desserts or the sides that are most meaningful to you. Again, don't just eat for the sake of eating. And when you're eating those things, say you're really looking forward to your grandma's pumpkin pie. Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad. But don't just like fucking black out when you eat the pie and then you ate a big old slice and you don't even remember what it tasted like because you were just shoveling it in. Indulge in it. Like, taste it. Like, really, really just enjoy it, you know? Like, be present in that moment. Focus on the food. Focus on the experience. Focus on the people that you're with. Don't just eat for the sake of eating. Be mindful in that experience. One of the biggest reasons why people overeat in general is because they are eating mindlessly. They eat while they're distracted, or they don't actually savor the food that they're eating. Savor the fucking pumpkin pie. Savor whatever you want to savor on that day. Don't just indulge in it and then forget that it even happened. That's not fun. Number 5, go for a walk after your meal. That's going to be a way where you can bring people together, like invite all your family. Hey, let's go on a walk. Let's get some fresh air. Let's go outside. Let's talk. Instead of just sitting on the couch and talking while you guys are trying to breathe, right? Go for a walk because it not only is going to help with blood sugar, but it's going to help with digestion. That way you can make more room for dessert, right? But it also brings the family together in a different way. And another way where you can do that, and the final tip, is schedule workouts with friends or family. Like, schedule a turkey trot in the morning, do a 5K, walk it, run it, do whatever you want. You don't have to schedule like a crazy ass workout. You can even just be like, hey, let's go play family football after the meal. Let's go toss the ball around. Let's shoot some hoops. Let's do something active, because it's a little bit different, but it still brings you guys together. But to summarize all of this up, guys, the biggest thing I want you to remember over the holiday season is that it is not the holiday that determines your results. It's what you do the other 350 days of the year. So be consistent, focus on staying committed to your goals, keep the commitments you make to yourself, seek intentional discomfort, no problems, only solutions. But before you guys go, I just need to remind you that today, our Black Friday sale went live, and that means a few things. Number 1, all of our OG apparel, the tri-blend tees, the cotton tees, the performance hoodies, the dad hats, the trucker hats, those are all 40% off on the website. We're also dropping our new exclusive, only 50 available, no problems, only solution, oversized t-shirt. I literally have been living in this shirt. I'm obsessed with it. It's durable, it's comfortable, it's made to outlast your committed lifestyle and also allow you to feel your best while you're becoming your best. We're also giving out free, exclusive, limited edition, not for sale, you must earn them, Powerhouse Mentality patches to the first 25 orders. And as of right now, there are 5 of those left. So make sure if you're listening to this podcast, go and check it out. The link is down below. But the last thing is that all orders over $100, you're going to get a free shirt. Over $150, you're going to get a free shirt and a free hoodie. All orders over $200, you're going to get a free shirt, a free hoodie, and a free hat. So make sure that you go and shop through December 2nd. You don't want to miss this because we have big things coming, and this is just going to be the start. So go out today and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.